become a citizen. If you subscribe, you will get citizenship. Just saying. I'm just saying. Are we on? Are we on?
Subscribe today and become a citizen.
Become a citizen today, or else.
Become.
I actually have my dice today. Dice. I have my dice. Hello, everyone. I'm looking at the Twitch, and I actually don't see our lovely. Now there's our lovely faces. It just
happened.
Update. Yeah. Hi everyone. We're gonna play some Into Space today. Drizzle unfortunately cannot be here, so we're gonna put off the Red Writ one more week, and get back to it next week. But that's okay, because that means we get to do some more Into Space. The last time we ended was a bit of a cliffhanger. Into Space, and also this time, Andrea is gonna be here.
Yeah.
Wrecking everything. I mean, what? That is not what happened last time. That's what happened last time. At the end of the one shot, granted it was a one shot, but at the end of the one shot, she was like, "I'm the bad guy."
Kinda.
And you know,
I mean, it's all a matter of perspective, but you know.
True. Ostensibly, your character, Carthonian, was that her name?
Yeah, Carthonian.
Yeah. Carthonian. She
Carthonian.
You're right. She you're confusing me now. Arguably was the good guy. But that did not save her from getting cut in half. Dolby used his plasma sword on that ass.
I feel like one of the details of that is omitted is that he didn't actually cut her in half. The laser sword was in the air and knocked out of his hand, and it was like just flipping around and kind of low gravity.
Why was it out of your hand though? Dude, do you remember why it was out of your hand?
I don't actually remember. I think it was a limbo thing. It was like a super high bow def. I think it was like a 6 bow def, and he used everything he could to like.
Well, and I also used a breath.
Yeah.
To and that was, you're like, okay, it works, but
well, because what went down was you guys got to the control room, and Carthonin was like, leapt from the edge of the room in the low gravity of Lunia to like do this power bomb elbow into the detonate button that the dissident had set up, and I think you technically hit it. Dolby tried to stop you, and there was a limbo thing with the plasma sword. It was awesome. Anyway, so I mean, it doesn't matter if your character knows this or not, but the launch pad was not destroyed. At any rate, I should probably do the introduction before we get into all that. So, I'll do that now. Greetings! We're the Dreadies. This is a DreadLore game. If you don't know what DreadLore is, here's the shirt. Yeah, you can find this shirt on our Red Bubble. The little link to the merch is pinned to the top of the Twitch channel. If you're not on Twitch, it's elsewhere. Regardless, we're playing tonight Into Space, a dystopian Odyssey. Near future, think aliens, starship troopers, the Expanse, all, Blade Runner, all smashed together like if they fucked. And that's essentially what the setting is. There's a mosquito that's about to die. I'm going to kill it as it circles my head. Right. Media production, big ol' thank you to Couchfire Media. If you want to know where actually all of these images and this sexiness that you're seeing comes from, Couchfire Media. If you want to know where the badass audio that we got going on comes from, it's Couchfire Media. Music is by all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt. And Ken, are you creating new music for this campaign?
I've started. I've started. I've got a couple of songs that may or may not make an appearance, depending on if certain things happen.
Yeah, indeed.
Try to
So we're starting
keep to
to
the mood.
make stuff happen, which leads us directly into the Patreon. So we'll have some announcements later, but if you want to jump on the Patreon, it's patreon.com/dreadlore, LORE. We are specifically going to revamp it and have a couple tiers for people who want to support the podcast. And in doing so, you're going to get some shit. We'll deal with that later. All of those tier rewards, by the way, will go directly into the stream. And once it gets to a certain level, we'll start paying the cast, which would be pretty sweet. So our schedule is Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, or thereabouts. That's about it. And after we do this game, usually it's Ken and I, and we jump on the after hours, where we talk about anything we want, including the game. And it's a lot of grandstanding and awesomeness, a lot of sophistry. Call to action. Hey, check it out. If you have not liked or subscribed or followed or whatever is free, motherfucker, do so. That would help us out. Doesn't cost you a goddamn thing. You know what it does do? Helps us out. So saith the corgi.
Yeah.
What is that
Yeah.
corgi's name?
Name is Piper.
So saith Piper. Piper demands you subscribe to
Demands.
this podcast
Demands it.
and to our YouTube. And if you haven't followed, we're looking for 100 followers. I'm gonna stop talking, but just fucking do it. If you got a book, write a review. You already bought the book, man. You already bought the book. Write a review. Holker's not here tonight. He will be, though, in about 20, 30 minutes. And at that time, we will do our sponsor, because you better believe he's going to do it whether I ask him to or not. Right. So for now, we're going to introduce our players and then a little bit about their characters. For anyone watching or listening, the next 20, 30 minutes until Holker gets here will be a little bit of setup, because we're getting Andrea involved in this game. And also we'll be doing the summary and all that shit once Holker arrives. So that's the situation. We'll start with Ken. Introduce yourself and your character, please.
I am Ken Howl, according to the credits.
Yeah.
And I'm playing a character called Dolby Newman, who is an indoctrinated soldier. He is a temporary and hopefully permanent first lieutenant in the Space Marines, and he's no nonsense. He's got a laser sword. He's not afraid to use it.
Yeah, he does. What's your background as a player?
I played DreadLore, and my more recent, I think I've been playing DreadLore for maybe 3 months now. I think I've got it down. This is episode 14, so that's 3.5 months on the stream, and then I think we played a handful of times before then. Before that, I didn't, and I think this is a wonderful, accessible game. When I was in high school, I played Dungeons and Dragons and rolled a lot of D20s. I also played a number of other random games like Vampire, and I don't want to go into those dark days.
Listen, you didn't vampire LARP, or if you did, you didn't run one. So the level of hell it goes lower. much lower. If Nostalgic jumps on, she'll tell you all about it.
Oh, nice. Oh, and I don't know why, but the widely unanticipated and completely panned animated feature film that I worked on
Mm.
is now live on YouTube. Dragons of the Autumn Twilight, and you can watch all of those characters from Dragonlance wander around in medieval magic times.
I need to see that. I meant to watch it this weekend, and I haven't watched it.
I have to say the animation in this podcast is at least comparable, if not slightly better. But a lot of time has passed. I mean, this is 2020, and we made that in 2007. So,
Oh my! So a little bit of time ago.
yeah, a little bit of time, and actually worked on it in 2006. It was not released until 2007 because it takes time to do that stuff.
Yeah. Andrea, you want to talk about you as a player and potentially who your character is going to be?
Yeah. I, as a player, haven't been playing TTRPGs much. I mean, well, except for the one game we did for 3 years. But before that, I never played. I never really played any board games. But I've always been an avid, like video gamer since I was little. So I've always leaned heavily into RPG or like other story-driven video games just because of living out in the middle of nowhere and not really having internet. So it's like the story was always the important thing. And then the character I am going to try and revive tonight is Katrina Telmis, and she's from a game. How long ago did we do that game? Like 2 years ago now? Something like that.
I don't think it was that long. I feel like we tend to add 6 to 8 months onto all of these.
Yeah.
But maybe?
Because it was still when you guys were in that place in Nicholasville.
Oh shit. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Wow. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
2021.
Shit.
Yeah, so that was 2 years ago.
But and she is an EVA specialist. She comes from a very well renowned family of soldiers and officers from Mars, and they fully integrated into the new government when after the war, and kept their prestige. She was not. She didn't like having that sort of how should I put this? Like weight over her head, basically to follow in the footsteps of her family. So she went to the military academy for a little bit, but then decided that wasn't really her thing, and decided to try and strike out on her own as a mercenary, essentially. So yeah.
Yeah. So this is different than your previous character, who was essentially a pro-Martian independence type character. This person is a Martian, just not
very apathetic to the whole thing.
right.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a secret operative of the Mars Initiative.
No.
Right?
No, this one is not at all.
She can be, but I have a feeling she might get the laser sword. Just don't tell Dolby. Right on. Yeah, so we'll have to do a little bit of maintenance to get your character up to date. Oh, and we have about a minute till the ad starts. So we can introduce the other characters. One is Private Skip Trace. Ken, would you like to introduce him?
Skip Trace. Skip Trace is a no-nonsense Marine that is mean as nails and takes orders like a professional. He's rough and has a big gun and a great mustache and
got a big gun, a really big gun actually.
really big
Gun's
gun
huge.
and talks with a voice.
He's got a voice and everything.
And he follows orders well. And for some reason, he obeys the chain of command because he's indoctrinated.
Well, you know,
this is fascism.
How did it go from a minute to 6 seconds? Has it been that long? Holy shit. Well, an ad's going to start now. Yeah, that would be Drizzle.
Subscribe, like, and share.
Yeah, do it all. Do all the liking and the subscribing. Wait, ad breaks ends in... Right, okay, a minute. So it has a minute left.
Wow.
Looks like we have 2 viewers. That's nice.
I feel like I might be one of them. It says ad break ends in 50 seconds. Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Red Bull
At any rate,
gives you wings. I feel like I should get paid for that.
that.
I mean,
Well, technically
candy, ice cream.
Technically, we are. It's like 2 cents or something. Anyway, at this point, we can talk to Andrea about your character. So, how many backgrounds do you have? You should have 3.
Yeah, I just did the last one. I just put warrior.
Okay.
Just to make it easy.
And how many gifts do you have? You should have 2 for the first and 1 thereafter.
I have. I think. Because I wasn't very versed in this when I first did it.
Yeah.
Wanderlust, would that work as a gift?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think it is. I mean, gifts are essentially just superpowered traits.
Gotcha.
It's basically the same stuff. Hey,
Okay.
community is back. Hello, viewers. Say hello to us on the chat so we know you're there. Yeah. So.
One of the things I had, and I have it in the gifts section, but I think I may have just put it in the wrong section because I didn't know what I was doing back then. Unknown artifact. That was sort of the sort of pseudo magic-y thing. That was basically an
Everybody
unknown...
wants magic in the Everyone wants magic in the non-magic games. The moment I'm like, hey, check it out, there's no magic, someone is like, hey, so could I have like a ring of power? I'm like, God damn it, oh my God.
I didn't do that.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You had a cube of power. It's a cube. It was the fucking tesseract.
The guy literally had no power. That was like his whole shtick. He was just a regular human with like no trait or ability. He wasn't smart. He could, if he punched somebody in the face, nothing would happen.
Kind of like if I punched someone in the face.
Or yeah, it was like if I went into future sci-fi. I mean, world. And there was magic in that one. There was definitely magic in that one.
In the post-apocalyptic one?
Yeah, wasn't it magical?
Well, just because you had a cube that was magical, there's no other magic in that except the teleporting normal dude who could do anything with his magic cube.
The tesseract is like, just like the little rainbow bridge that allows you to jump from Thorland into Earth. That is just technology that you don't understand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's, like God. So anyway, your gifts. Here's a few gifts that are in the Into Space source document. That's what I'm calling it now. It will eventually be a splat book that my buddy Patrick Courtney and I are working on. What's up, Anonymous Bat? I'm assuming that's you, Andrea. Are you on? You're not?
Oh, no, I'm not.
Ken, is it you?
I'm using my phone for this, so I can only do one thing at a time, essentially.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Ken, are you on the Into Space document?
Maybe.
Yeah,
it's possible.
You are Anonymous Bat. I'm pretty sure.
Am I?
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to tell you. Hey, Jazzy Cabbage.
A lot of windows open. Yeah, I am.
What's up,
on
pimp?
There, actually, that's true.
What's up, pimp? Jazzy Cabbage. We're going to talk about your character this time. It's unfortunate you haven't come back. Okay, so
Jazzy Cabbage is doing work.
That's cool. It's cool. Do real life. That's fine.
Man.
We're gonna
real
game.
Life work.
We're gonna game because guess what? It's all okay. Andrea, here are some gifts. So, really quick about your backgrounds. Everyone in the game, in this module, is a Marine of some sort. And the reason for that is so that you all generally have the same goal. Otherwise, you kind of just do whatever the fuck you want and go off the rails. So that's the reason you're a fucking Marine. There you go. What did you hear that? What was that? Choo choo. Whoa, what is chuka 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 chuka? Is that a train? Is that a railroad? Choo choo. Now you don't have to be a Marine if you don't want to, but you have to have your plug has to be very strong if you're not a Marine. Okay. The plug in DreadLore, for anyone who wants to know, including for you guys, although I know you do know, is the character trait, which can change, although it doesn't change very often. It's the character trait that you decide as a player that keeps your character in the story. Because if there's not a reason for you to be in the story, then it makes sense for your character to leave. Well, that's up to you to stay, right? So typically, all these guys, they're all Marines because this and that, they're kind of all in the same boat. No pun intended. At the end of their 10-year term of service, they become citizens in this grand fascist society of the SSA. So, for example, your character, you don't want to be too against that, at least openly. Because if you are, there's going to be problems. I mean, which that's a story in and of itself, but it's going to be like a big problem. It's like if we were all playing Puritans and you were like, I'm a witch! Like, they're going to fucking burn you. It doesn't matter what the game's about. Now they're going to burn you.
Yeah.
And if you are a witch and you're trying to do witchy shit, they're going to find out and burn you. So keep that in mind with your plug. I'm going to give you a list of some of the gifts from the Into Space Source book. Real quick. So, are you at all involved in the military? The PNB is the Prime Naval Brigade. The PMC is the Prime Marine Corps. If you don't want to be, you could be PMP, which is Prime Military Police. You could be an attaché of some sort to the military. You could be a mercenary of some sort that technically has a rank, and so in that way you're an attaché.
Okay, that works for me. That makes the most sense.
Okay. So on that note, you are a private second class. So you're the absolute lowest that is there. Okay. Because you're an attaché and you have that rank, you have a sec clearance. That's SEC. Security is what it's for. A sec clearance of 0, which means you actually have one. The average person does not. Military, or in your case, an elevated civilian has one. And that just means you have access to some command, communique, and that kind of stuff. Okay. Finally, to the gifts. You can take enlisted rank as a gift, which essentially means every time you take it, you up your rank 1. You cannot be an officer, but you can be a higher enlisted rank. As you go up in rank, you do get some other stuff. At some point, you get set clearance at a higher level. So that's up to you. That's one of the gifts. Second gift. Homegrown. You were not born. You were grown in a tube. The process caused you to mature quicker than most, but with memory engrams that unnaturally bolster your abilities. It's probably memory engrams is the wrong word. I was tired. With shit in your brain that makes you faster and better. That's what that's supposed to say. You bid the gift to recover 1 proficiency use. So if you actually have homegrown as a gift and it's not been exhausted, you can bid it to regain a proficiency. So you can use that in a pretty interesting way. Your shortened childhood likely caused coping problems of some kind. And you get an extra derangement for your troubles. So that's homegrown. Another one is mum is the word. The walls have eyes and ears, marine or attaché, and dangers are everywhere. You being savvy about when to shut up and ship out has gotten you out of trouble more than once. When the brass is looking to bust someone down, you're likely not the first. It should be you're likely not the one that gets the hammer. Anonymous bat, hi. With brain
me.
and engrams. I think I'm just using that word wrong. Brain implants. We'll do that. Netically gifted. You've got implants in your brain that give you better perception and mental plasticity. The issue is that they're illegal. You can bid this gift to lower a threshold concerning mind by 1. Some energy blasts might affect you a little bit
That
more than
makes
others.
sense, given that the background of tech mage. You'd probably want some kind of So what was it? What is it called again?
So instead of cybernetics, it's just called netic. So netically gifted.
Okay.
And then there. Go on. Sorry.
So that's basically like you're using it for like or you said that was a mind based.
Yeah. So it's just a trait, but because it's a gift, some gifts have a mechanical bonus, and this one does. If it's not exhausted, so if you can bid it, you can lower the threshold for something concerning mind.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which is pretty powerful. I mean, for example, a sanity roll, you could use it for.
Gotcha. Ooh,
okay. And then the last gift that I've written on the Into Space shit is sec clearance. So if you just want to get sec clearance, you can up it as much as you want. And these are gifts, so you would have 4 total on your sheet because you have 3 backgrounds.
Okay. So I'll probably do sec clearance, is like, let's say, the logic there is that she comes from a very prestigious family, so she kind of has some ins in that regard. Whatever.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So your sec clearance starts at 0 because you actually have it, and then every time you take that, it goes up by 1.
Okay.
Is that a thing you can upgrade?
Technically, no. Because this is character creation. The way that you would upgrade it is by doing it in game, and by securing it. That said, it's setting specific, so it's up to us to decide. I would say, yeah, you can use an advancement to do it. So yes, you can upgrade it, or you don't upgrade it, you advance it. But it needs to have a good reason in the role play. For example, go on. Sorry.
I was just gonna say a reason like Dolby upgrading it himself last game.
Did he go from 3 to 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Is it officially 4 now, or does it go back to 3? I think it just went back to 3. But
I mean, officially, the reason that Dolby was able to do that is because he was dropping an ability, and it only worked within the confines of that specific thing. So the fiction idea would be, so how did you go from 3 to 4? And it needs to be something more than they gave it to me, because they wouldn't.
So in that regard, by taking the 1, does that put me at like a 1 set clearance?
It puts
or
you
whatever?
at 1. Yeah.
Okay.
So for Dolby, I mean, you've used it a whole bunch. I think you could do something with Alfred, or you could have said maybe the Commander Laura, secured somehow. It's weird though. because her security clearance, did she actually tell you what it was?
No, the sergeant,
No.
the
Commander
commander
Donald.
said she had sec clearance 4.
Yeah, well, she has 4, then she technically could raise it to 4 if she wanted.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's up to you.
I was pretty happy with the way that it played out until the end, when you're like, "Wow."
So, are you gonna go for Sec 4, or are you gonna stay at 3?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Sec 3 is fine. I wasn't gonna use my experience to
Okay.
upgrade Sec clearance or
Okay.
anything like that.
Well,
I might in the future if for some reason it gets to that point, but that is not.
if you stoop so low. Okay, so
Right.
Andrea.
Yes.
So your character is Katrina Telmis.
Yes.
Yep. And she's a Martian. All right. For Martian, let me see. What is your plot armor right now?
It's currently 8.
And what are your aspects at?
2 brawn, 2 mind, and then 6 grace and 4 wits. And then the plot armor was from the EVA armor.
Yeah,
that she
because you
uses, which
have.
is the +4.
Okay, so before we add in the armor, or the EVA armor, your plot armor, I believe, is brawn and mind.
Mind. Yep.
So your brawn is 2, and your mind is what?
2 as well.
Okay. So that makes 4. So that's your plot armor. And then you said you gain 4 from the EVA. So because you're a Martian, you gain +3 plot armor just because you're Martian.
Interesting. Okay.
It's because you're fucking tough. So Martians are tough Zens. Remember, people, they're not called humans anymore. You're called Zens. Martians are tough Zens who do not know when to quit. Mars' capitulation to the SSA Council spelled the end of the last colony's wars. That said, you get 3 plot armor because you're fucking tough. You also get a flaw, which is stigma, or something
Okay.
along those lines. You don't have to literally choose that one. The idea is people are
that
like,
makes sense.
oh, you're one of those colonies that got that rebelled. One of those guys.
Well, and I wonder if, in her particular case, the stigma would kind of go both ways. Because, yeah, she has the stigma of, like you said, being from the Martians, that,
Yeah.
like on an outside perspective, but even from the Martian perspective, she'd probably have the aspect of, oh, you're one of the sellouts kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. And you could name it whatever, like turncloak or coaster, whatever you want to call it, Andrea. Halvesy, opportunist. And that is a flaw, so you can bid it just like a normal trait. The difference is I can also bid it. Because I'm the Arbiter. What's up, Little Gotham? It's been a while, Little Gotham. How are you doing? We're glad you're on. We're doing a little bit of maintenance until Hulker gets here. And we're hooking up some Into Space tonight. Okay, so there's your +3. There's your such and such. And then you would add your armor on top of that. So I believe that gives you, what is it? Fuck, I can't add now. 11?
So
Is that
it'd be
11?
7 without the armor, and then 11 with it.
Right. Yeah, this is going to be a good session. I can't do simple addition right now. How many abilities do you have, and how many proficiencies?
I have...
For the chat, proficiencies are essentially their re-rolls, and their abilities, they're just traits, but if they upgrade them, then they can give them straight up successes. Some abilities do extra stuff.
I have a total of 8 traits.
Okay. total of 8 traits. What about abilities?
The only one I have is called Haywire, and that has to do with the unknown artifact.
Okay, and what about your proficiencies?
Proficiencies I have 4.
All right. For Haywire, does it have any upgrades on it?
I don't think so.
Okay, so at this tier of play, which I believe you guys are the 2nd tier of play, seasoned, you have 12 picks. So you've used 5 of them. So you actually have 7 more picks to put in either proficiencies or abilities and upgrades, however you see fit.
Okay.
Proficiencies, I would choose 2 more. I like to. I generally say just split them up. You don't have to. You can do whatever you
Gotcha.
want. But for ease, I usually say do 6 and 6. Whatever abilities you have, I'd put at least 1, if not 2, upgrades in. 2 is the maximum. That way,
Okay.
when you use it, you actually kind of get something. You gain successes from it.
Yeah.
So I think there's some into space abilities in here. If you're good with guns and weaponry and that sort of thing, which it seems like you probably have some kind of prowess there, I would have an ability for firearms. And let me find one. I mean, when it comes down to it, you can use these things without it, but it just helps. So there's Blades Master. Now, here's the thing. In space, using bullets and stuff that explodes is typically not a good idea. I mean, literally everyone does it, but it's one of those. Decompression could be a thing. Then again, if you guys are Marines or if you have access to Marine armor and you're in hermetically sealed suits, you're not going to immediately go out by doing that. Anyway, so Blades Master, starships don't react well to lasers, bullets, and explosive rain. 1 wrong blast and it's rapid decompression and a one-way trip to the black for you. You've learned to use classier weapons from a simpler time. Activate Blades Master to gain 1 additional success when using simple bladed weapons. Each upgrade adds another one. So the cool thing about Blades Master is it automatically gives you a success, and when you do the upgrades, you could get a total of a +3. That's probably a typo, but I'm going with it because I think it's cool. Dolby, do you have Blades Master? What upgrade is it?
Upgraded. I think it's 3. I have a +3 and my Blades Master.
Right, so it would be upgrade 2, and that's what gives you a +3.
Yeah. Well, it says 2 by the name, but I presume just having it, and then it's been fully upgraded.
Yeah, so that's actually an exception to the rule. Normal abilities don't give you any successes for just having them, but that one does, because I made it that way. Expert Pilot is another ability. Get in the saddle again. I'll go with it. No? You can pull some serious moves behind the yoke. You know the ups, downs, corkscrews, and all the dangers of any zany flying. I'm hilarious. Okay? Activate Expert Pilot to gain an extra die D6 when piloting a starship. So this would be an ability. This would be an ability that does not give you a success straight up. It gives you an extra die, and then the exception is when you upgrade it, it gives you successes.
Is that something I could like? Could I work that into kind of like let's say I put that for like piloting my EVA suit essentially.
The ability says for piloting a starship scale 1 or below, and technically your EVA suit is scale 0, so yeah, it would work.
Okay.
You activate Expert Pilot, so you just bid a trait to do it. It doesn't have to be Expert Pilot. It can be any trait to activate that ability. And what it does is it gives you an extra die D6. and you're looking for successes on that die. So a 4, 5, or 6 for one success.
Yeah.
Now, if you give it upgrades, each upgrade gives you an extra success. So if anybody's played D&D 3.5, these are basically feats. All the complicated hell of feats. It does work in DreadLore. Ad break ends in 22 seconds. No one heard that. Whatever. Are you going to upgrade it?
Yeah, I'll give it a 1 upgrade and then just
Okay.
use my
So what
other...
that'll do? So yeah, that means when you activate it, automatic success, and you get that D6 extra die. It's not a chaos die. Okay. Which is good. All right. Seasoned shipmate. This would be an interesting to have as well for any of you guys. You have served on too many sorts of ships to count. You're familiar with all starship systems, protocols, and usage for starships of any scale. That means capital ship. That means anything. Activate seasoned shipmate to gain an extra die when blah, 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 and you gain an extra success for operations of a starship. Basically, right now, if any of you jumped onto a capital ship, you would have no fucking clue what to do. That would be like trying to drive a Star Destroyer. Like, you just don't know how to do it. So you've got to have, or I should say, the threshold will be very high. If you have seasoned shipmate, that's a motherfucker who's been on ships of everything. So there's an idea there. For a mercenary, I could see it hit or miss. Shield expert. This is a very technical thing. So the way that shields work, you guys haven't delved into because you haven't had space combat. Once your shields are gone, you have to reactivate them, which there's a threshold to do. And there's a mishap die. And if it all fucks up, well, the shields don't come back on. Also, it takes time to regenerate your shields once they've been depleted. A shield expert, it takes fewer rounds, or fewer turns. So this is, I'm going to read it. Any Zen who's traveled in the black knows that shields are more essential than the SSA claims. You've learned how to use them well. Re-engage shields on 2 turns rather than 3 turns. Each upgrade grants an additional 1 success for manipulating shields. So, the idea is this. If shields are blown out, it takes 3 turns to get them back online. So that could mean if 2 players are aiding each other, you could get the shields back online in 1 round, right? But you'd have to spend cunning to do it. A shield expert, if you spend cunning, on the cunning round, you operate the shields, and on the player round, you can get the shields back up. That's what that's doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. There's the devil in the details here. The bad guys go first. So you spend cunning, so you go first. Then the bad guys go, then you get the shields up.
Gotcha.
You see? So
Yeah.
So the idea is, when you're in space combat, it's really important to not lose your shields if you can help it, which is why the shield expert's so good, because you have successes for doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to convince you of it. I'm just trying to illustrate it. Shock trooper. This would be good too. Dropping from orbit, entering a hostile LZ, neutralizing the enemy. Come get some. You've been trained in it all. Activate Shock Trooper to gain 1 extra die, D6, anytime you're doing what you do best, being a soldier. Each upgrade boosts the extra die. For example, if you had it upgraded once, it would be a D8 instead of a D6. Twice, it'd be a D10. So those are all of the into space abilities. And then there's a whole bunch of other ones in the DreadLore core book. Derailed Thought Train says, puppy.
Yeah.
What's up, Derailed?
That's tough, because I'm thinking about taking one more, but both the Shock Trooper and the Seasoned Shipmate make a lot of sense to me. And that's hard.
Yeah. Well, and you will get advancements and that kind of stuff as you play the game. Just for catch up, we'll give you an advancement, so you have an extra pick. because this will be the 4th session we're playing this. So you got 7 picks, and meaning you have 8 picks. All right. Let's
Okay.
not take too long with it.
Yeah. No. I'm basically, besides picking what I'm gonna do in my last couple, I'm more or less done. They went ahead and upgraded the Haywire,
Mhm.
and then the Expert Pilot with an upgrade. So that's 3 I've used, I guess.
Mm.
So yeah. I'll go. Well, then I guess I'll go ahead and take both of those.
Yeah, I mean, you can blow it out. Also remember that you said you had 8 traits. You get 5 free traits. I don't know if you've picked all of those. You don't have to pick them. This is for the chat as well. You don't actually have to fill out your character sheet all the way to play DreadLore. With those free traits and such, you can actually pick them during the gameplay.
Gotcha. And I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah.
They have a total of 11 traits.
Is that including your title traits? The ones at the top left of your sheet?
No.
Because you'll have a lot of traits, because you'll have all of your gifts, all of your backgrounds. It's like 7. Then your title traits, I think that's around 11. You get your plug and major minor goals, your flaw, the little title log line at the top. Your name is a whatever that does this and this. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to have a lot, plus the 5 extra when you get. Okay,
also,
let's
on
talk. Go on.
the season shipmate, real quick. That was a plus D6 to anything like related to operating a ship.
Season shipmate is essentially, yeah, it means that you've been on almost every kind of ship. So essentially, if something needs to be done, you can do it. Like you can operate kind of anything. It doesn't mean you're necessarily good at it, but you've been there, you've done it before.
Okay, cool.
You know, like every seaman can cut the sails. All of them could technically steer, shoot a cannon, whatever. They might not be. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna all over the place. Ninja Gear.
I'm gonna.
You're gonna subscribe? Is that what you said?
Subscribe, like, and share. I was trying to jump in before you started talking because you were like, I'm gonna.
I don't.
If you want to hear more ums and us, you know, I'm gonna. You can like, subscribe, and share. I'm gonna stop talking now.
Shotgun. That's what we used to do when we would call shotgun. You know, we'd have to throw the other person off. So we'd be like, humana. What? Shotgun. My buddy Cameron, who actually was instrumental in making this T-shirt design. If you want a T-shirt, there's a red dice. Can you actually see this? I can't see my camera. Can you see this?
Yeah.
There's the red dice. There's the pride dice that I just uploaded. There's the which is Roy G. Biv. There's the pansexual one. Cameron did that one. And it looks really cool. And then there's another one. The primary colors. Anyway, there's one of a naginata. If you don't know what a naginata is, go get that T-shirt. It should be pinned on the little Twitch thing. Anyway, Ninja Gear. So you have your EVA suit and the armor.
Yes.
It has a little thruster pack on it, I'm assuming. Does it? Did we say how many uses or how long it lasts?
No, we never decided that.
Okay, so what we'll do, we'll give it we'll say that it has 10 uses before it has to be recharged. And give it a trait, whatever trait you want. So make sure you put a little asterisk there. And what that means is if you bid your EVA suit or the trait that you're going to give it, then that Ninja Gear gives you a D6 extra die. For the chat, the way that Ninja Gear works, you can bid your Ninja Gear to gain extra dice. And they all start at a d4. Every trait you have upgrades that die, so it boosts the die. So if it had 3 traits, it'd be a d4, d6, d8, d10. So it'd be a d10 it would give you instead of a d4. This is called folding the story. Essentially, you're taking your experience points, and instead of gaining something new, you're making your item better, more your item. It's a cool mechanic which someone created. Someone inspired. A visionary, really, in the world of gaming. Yeah. I'm just going to keep on going, Dolby. Forever. Okay, what's your weapon?
An assault rifle.
Sweet. Is it a big gun or is it
It's
not a big
plus,
gun?
I have it listed as a +4.
+4 means nothing.
Or 2d4
to me.
+1 is what it was.
I see. So that's not a. I mean, it'll fuck someone up, but it's not particularly big. Let me find.
Oh,
Why
sorry.
did I not put weapons as a little title on here? Oh, I did. I'm just fucking blind. Okay, so there is a short rifle, which is what that is. That is a standard issue PMC rifle, fired from the shoulder, employs high impact rounds. And it's 2d4 +1. It has 50 ammunition that it can hold, and it's semi-automatic, 1 round hits. Yeah.
And then I also had harpoons, which I had listed as a d4.
You have a
They're basically
harpoon?
like little harpoons on the EVA suit, basically
Oh.
for like
You can be
slingshot
like-
maneuver type stuff.
So you can do some Attack on Titan shit.
Yeah.
In space.
Then I also had mag boots listed, and I'm
Yep.
assuming that those
Yep.
are also, and then
You have a short range
integrated-
comm.
integrated mine jack,
What is
which
that?
would basically, I guess, be the same. I think that's, if I remember correctly, that was sort of related to the hacker stuff.
Oh,
It's
you mean like a
basically sort of
Matrix, like thunk.
Yeah.
You got a brain port?
Oh no, I remember what it was. That was basically to make the for actually using the EVA suit instead of having to press a bunch of buttons. Basically, the mine jack. Yeah, it's like.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Okay. Yep. Sounds good.
And then the last thing I have listed was the laser designator, and I think that was. Oh, I remember what I used that for. It was when we were trying to attack a base with like missiles, and basically the laser designator was me guiding the missiles into their spot, into the target.
I completely forgot about this game.
That's
It
pretty
has
cool.
been 2 years. It's awesome. Right. Okay, so your weapon also has a burst fire option, and it
Okay.
shoots 5 rounds. And if you use that, you gain a d4 of damage. So it would be a 3d4 +1.
Okay.
And Dolby, you should have that as well as an option if you're using the 2d4 +1 weapon, which is the short rifle. Do we have a Hulker? I think we do.
Yes, we do.
What's up,
Ooh.
Hulker?
Howdy. Burgess has arrived.
Burgess, we've got a new viewer, Derailed Thought Train, and also Lil Gotham is back.
All right.
Lil Gotham says, it's been a minute, work's been crazy, glad to be here for some DreadLore magic.
Definitely understand.
And Derailed Thought Train loves your puppy, whose name is Piper, apparently. Hulker,
Yeah.
what's up? Now, Hulker, before you do what I know you're going to do, and I told them you were going to do, we're going to finish up the Ninja Gear really fast. Hi, Hulker. Right, so you've got your armor, you've got a gun, you've got your utility, which really, that's kind of all you need.
Yeah.
Anything else? You got like a knife. You could have a hollow pistol. You could have a handheld railgun. You know,
I
if you want
mean,
one of those.
you know, tempting, but
Explosive charges, grenades. You could have a fucking flamethrower. You could have a thumper stick. That's what people normally have on these things. Basically, it's a stun baton. Essentially, it's
I see.
collapsible. But it does a fuckload of damage.
Yeah, no, I think I'm good for now.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah. So Hulker, before you do what I know you're gonna do, introduce yourself and your character.
My name is Daniel, and my character is name is Tony Czerniak. Tony Czerniak is a recently.
Oh no, we're not doing the red. We're in Into Space tonight.
What?
I know. Drizzle couldn't make it, so we had to.
So we're back to the red, or back to space, huh?
We're back to black. Into the black. It's fine. It ad breaks 30 seconds anyway. So hold off for 30 seconds on the introduction.
Yeah, please like, subscribe, and all that stuff that they share.
Get some merch.
Get the book at Lulu Press. Go to our link tree to find out more information.
Boom. Subscribe to the YouTube.
All those links are in the chat. They're just in there.
They're in there. They're in the chat.
Links.
Yeah. Lots of links everywhere.
It's just like it's linked up.
Okay, continue, Hulker, with who you are and your real name.
My name is Daniel Hulker, and my character is Private Burgess. He's an unassuming man who's here to kick ass, throw boxes, and he's not out of boxes.
And then the last person, because we did skip trace. How about some of the NPCs? Alfred. Hulker, describe Alfred really quick. Do you remember Alfred? Do you know who he is?
Yeah, Alfred is the ship's computer.
Yeah.
Kind of sarcastic at times. Probably lies by omission more than we'll ever know.
Definitely.
And I don't know, maybe just
he's Howl 5000. That's
yeah.
Yeah. Just more annoying. Ken, would you like to do Sergeant Amelia Duststone?
Duststone is a survivor. She's a sergeant.
Thus far.
She has certainly hit some buttons to make Dolby very paranoid, or maybe Alfred was lying, or maybe I don't know. But she worked with the magistrate, and who's allegedly, I mean, we don't know for sure, but the magistrate Eva Cyrus of the whole sector apparently went onto our ship and messed with our cryo bed, and apparently our sergeant Sergeant Duststone worked with her. So
and she's from Mars.
Yeah, Mars. She's a station kid. She's into security.
Yeah. Some kind of security. And then you have Private Alice Brick. Hulker, would you like to describe Brick?
Alice Brick was a dissident on Lunia, and after dissidenting a little too much, she was rescued and re-educated before being assigned to her current position.
Yeah, it's her last chance. And Andrea, so you're aware, Alice Brick is the lady that Carthonen shot with a sniper rifle.
Oh shit.
And she now has
Oh,
some
Christ.
netic replacement of a couple organs. You have two other NPCs. They're minor NPCs, so they're just notables. One is Josh with a C. He's a second lieutenant. He's your pilot. And the other one is a seaman third class, Dole, not Dolby. Dole Engineering.
That's,
He's
like,
the ship
not
engineer.
confusing. Like,
Yeah.
why would you name him Dole if you had a Dolby?
Because when you say it out loud is when it becomes weird. You know, if you look at it written, it's like it's got an umlaut and everything. But like,
And how do you say his last name? Engineering?
it's engineering.
Engineering.
Yeah, because he's an engineer, right?
Right.
You know,
Well,
like
I mean, he
Sirius
comes from
Black.
a long. It's like people were named Smith because they were like
They're Smiths.
blacksmiths, and
Yeah, he's an
They were-
engineer.
Well,
So I call him engineering because he's dull engineer. Come on, it's funny. Does anyone think I'm funny? Anyone
I
else
think
in the
it's funny.
chat?
not
Back
like
me up. Am I funny?
dull bananas.
Back him up. It's funny.
Really quick, Andrea, are you wielding
Nah.
a samurai sword? What the fuck
I
is
am-
going on?
I have well,
Did you
it's
just-
it's an old.
Did you just seppuku your dog? What's going on?
No, I'm trying to build up my my grip strength for my sword fighting a little bit, so I'm just doing some exercises while we're sitting here. Yeah,
Good.
just some some wrist swings with the sword.
Wrist swings. Yeah, I dig it. Little Gotham says, "Yep, totally funny." Yeah. Come on. I'm funny.